Kashmir was under a bloody occupation. It remains to be under a bloody occupation. And as far as normalcy is concerned, if you call being kicked out of your house normal, if you call torture, rape, murder normal, 370 and 35A is concerned, you need to understand that these are gross human rights violations. Any occupying power cannot unilaterally abrogate anything to do with the displacement of the people who live in that territory. Bringing in people from outside Kashmir, making domiciles for them, having the armed forces take over civilian land, burning down houses in order to occupy them have them occupied by the Indian citizens. As far as the elections are concerned in Kashmir, I think except for India itself, the rest of the world knows in which conditions those elections took place. And the puppet politicians who claim to be the representatives of Kashmir, who were put in place by the BJP, such as Mehbooba Mufti, who used to call herself the younger sister of Modi, and the Abdullahs, who are known traitors to the people and their will of Kashmir. There was no hope of actual representation from those elections, and those same sort of circumstances came about after the elections. Kashmir was under a bloody occupation. It remains to be under a bloody occupation. And as far as normalcy is concerned, if you call being kicked out of your house normal, if you call torture, rape, murder normal, then yes, normalcy still exists in Kashmir. But as far as the normal, according to the Western world, is considered, where dignity, justice, and peace need to prevail, there is no normal, and there was no normal for the people of Kashmir. The inaction of the international community is concerned. I would like to take the prime example of what is happening in Palestine currently. The genocide of Muslims, the genocide of, as they say, children of lesser gods, I would presume, is something which is not, I think, worthy of their attention. And the same has been done with the people of Kashmir. 75 years of struggle and 75 years of daylight murders and arrests of our true representatives has not yielded us anything in terms of action from the international community. We see different non-government organizations such as Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International and all these other organizations who keep on raising their voice against the atrocities that are happening within Kashmir. But as far as the action is concerned, I think the lack thereof, it emanates from deep dependence of, I guess, economies on India. India is a big economy. So I guess the presumption is that if India becomes economically more and more powerful and the West continues to be interdependent on that economic power, human rights take a back seat in that regard. And therefore, I would say that there has been no action as far as the loss of Kashmiri lives is concerned. 370 and 35A is concerned. You need to understand that these are gross human rights violations. Any occupying power cannot unilaterally abrogate anything to do with the displacement of the people who live in that territory. And bringing in people from outside Kashmir, making domiciles for them, having the armed forces take over civilian land, burning down houses in order to occupy them have them occupied by the Indian citizens. These are all gross human rights violations. And I think any economical development which Modi speaks of it cannot be interchanged for human rights violations. So, whatever economy they are promising to the people of Kashmir, if it comes at the cost of their freedom, if it comes at the cost of their dignity, if it comes at the cost of justice, I, as a Kashmiri myself, speaking for the people of Kashmir, can say we do not want that economic development, and we would not be able for that economic development. As far as those apple orchards are concerned, well, if they're taking over our land, if they're taking over our freedom, I think things such as our orchards and our handicrafts take a back seat. And of course, they're suffering. They're suffering greatly at the hands of the occupying powers from India. And they do continue to suffer, no matter what a rosy picture Modi might want to, paint for the rest of the world. But on the ground reality remains that the people of Kashmir are subjugated, and their economy has completely gone down the drain. First, we need to look at how it is going to change the future for the people of Kashmir, who are 95% Muslims. So, as far as this systematic change is concerned, it started with the demographic change. Now it has gone down to change of buildings and change of language. Even now, our national dress of Firan is banned in Kashmir. It can't be worn openly. So there are many things that the BJP government is trying to change. And I would say that they've learned from the best. The Israeli Zionists have not only taught them how to, continue this occupation of the people, but rather perfect this occupation. So, as far as the people of Kashmir are concerned, they are in great distress. But as far as the region is concerned, I think it's a huge expose for the rest of the world to see that India, who claims to be the largest democracy, who claims to have a secular constitution, who claims to believe that all men have dignity and freedom and justice, well, it is not so. And the more this comes out to the rest of the world, the more India will continue to expose its Hindutva agenda, which is trying to propagate to the rest of the world. Well, as far as the people, the Muslims of India are concerned, I think there is a little bit of a difference between the Muslims of India and the Muslims of Kashmir. The Muslims of India accepted India as their ruling state. After the 1947 partition, they chose to stay with this secular country. They believed in its democracy, perhaps. But as far as the people of Kashmir are concerned, we had a long-standing occupation in the form of the Dogra Raj before the formation of India and Pakistan. So we quite well knew what India's desires were and what their design was going to be. As far as raising their voice is concerned, we've been raising our voice for the longest time, and we continue to do so. But this voice is being stifled. It's been silenced by threatening our kids, by threatening our women, by threatening our young ones. So if the world hears nothing, then it should think that this silence should shatter their ears, and they should understand that this is not a willing submission, but rather a subjugation. And this threat of occupational forces makes the people silence. And as we know, there is no free press. International bodies are not allowed to roam freely in Kashmir and check with the people on how things are. So if they say it's silence, it is not silence, it's a willing, I would say, ignorance of the cries of the people of Kashmir.